Alongside Aaron Ward and Shane Kelly, I'm Rafon Gafar with the fourth period, and we call this segment Dirty Data. Guys, let's dive right into one of the best teams in the National Hockey League right now of late. That's the Nashville Predators. Obviously, several positive cases, both on and off the ice. We don't really know what the future is going to hold, but let's talk about the last little while and run of play for the Preds. 5 straight wins, Aaron. They're second in the Central Division. Are you confident in their play?
Well, usually I like to leave the negativity to Shane because he's a numbers guy. I mean, this team is 7-3 in their last 10, but I do not believe they can sustain the level of play or the level of success that they have. The truth is, if you're a Nashville Predators fan, you're going out and buying a jersey, the Duchesnes, the Granlunds, the Forsbergs, and specifically Roman Josi, you're pretty excited. I mean, Roman Josi leading the team, or at least tied in scoring. He's got 9 goals in the season, 12 power play points. This team has a level of success that they should be excited about. But here's the problem. I don't exactly believe that the opponents they've played have been great over the course of the season to this point. And also, eventually, teams will figure out that Roman Josi is the stick that stirs the drink. Right? So this is a guy that's got 98 shots on the season, 9 goals. That's a pretty good shooting percentage. I'll leave the actual details to Shane. But as I think about this and I look at this team, it's a massive fall off. I mean, it's great that Duchesne, in comparison to where he was last year or previous years where you're waiting for the season to progress and this guy's eventually going to show up, he's up there and he's productive. But I believe that all you have to do is shut down 1 or 2 guys, and Josi having a Norris Trophy type season, one of my top 2 candidates on the year, I think is an easy remedy for most teams coming in eventually when they figure out this Nashville team and say, hey, listen, it's this guy. You know, they can do all they want. They're not up there with goals for. They're keeping shots against down. They're finding ways to win very close games, but I don't believe it's sustainable.
It's nice to be the positive guy for once. I mean, I don't think they're going to go 7-3 every 10 games to the end of the season, that's for sure. But, you know, you look at points percentage, there's so much difference now between, you know, how many games teams have played. So I try to ignore the actual points and look at percentage. They're 9th. They're 10th in expected goals for, they're 15th against. You know, everything you look at a macro level says this team is probably somewhere between 8th and 15th in the NHL, you know, depending on what happens with all this COVID stuff. But yeah, I'm a little more bullish than you are, Wardo, that's for sure.
Well, it's funny when you talk about this team and look at it, you can't talk about the Nashville Predators and not mention the play of their goaltender, can you, Aaron?
No, so Saros has been fantastic. Although team-wise they've kept their shots against down, it's one thing to have Roman Josi on the ice and possess that puck when eventually you do give up those opportunities. Saros has been fantastic. I think that he's establishing himself again this season as the go-to guy. You have that expectation as you watch him play that he's going to make both the spectacular and the mundane look routine. So, I mean, he's got the level of confidence of his team and his coach. But again, I say what's in front of him still leads me to believe, like, I'm not buying yet. And I realize that they've got some competitive teams breathing down their neck right now.
Yeah, he, again, just like last year, has been, you know, the absolute shining star for this group. And I think he's kind of criminally underrated. And it's sustainable. Last 2 years, he's been, you know, one of the top 3 goalies by expected save percentage, by goals saved above average, by, you know, high danger save percentage. All these things that really tend to separate the best goalies from the ones who are getting a lot of help from the team in front of them. The other thing that, you know, says he's doing a lot of the work for this group, they only have a +6 goal differential, like you mentioned, Wardo. So that tells me that they're getting a lot of wins because somebody is stealing tight games, and that somebody for Nashville is Saros.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for this. Very interesting times ahead for the Nashville Predators, especially on and off the ice.